Well, hello my lovelies and welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Shelly and this channel is all about traveling, flight attendant, application, resume, how to get your coaching, and how I can coach you to become the best version of yourself, you guys. Today's title says it all. We are talking ditching, but not for just any airline. My favorite heart airline of all times. Yes, ma'am. We are talking no other than our beautiful, and I can't say it, but you guys got the message, right? Alrighty, let's get started. How does it work? What do you do? What does it imply? I know you talked about it when it came to Spirit, but what about, ditching with this airline? So I'm gonna go into it, like literally right away. We're gonna go step by step on how it happened, what you needed to do, what to expect. A lot of you have asked me, like, I'm nervous, what do I need to wear, what do I do, I can't swim, does it matter? There's so many questions that are surrounding that actual idea of what to expect once you are faced with ditching, whether you are going to become a flight attendant, whether you are going to training or you're in training but you don't know what to expect. I will go ahead and tell you all about it. So with that said, let's get started. Let's do it. So it all starts off, usually ditching is toward the end of training. So training is about 4 weeks. You're looking at probably on the 3rd or 4th week. It depends when they schedule it for you. Now what happens is we will give you a shorter day that day. So instead of finishing like at 3 or 4 like usual, you'll finish at about 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Now you will have class that day. So you are asked to bring all of your clothes, and anticipating that you will be taking a bus to that particular place where they are going to have you ditch. Now, it all depends if you're in the AM or PM class. I was in the AM class, so they left the ditching for last. So basically you came home, with all of your wet clothes and whatnot. If you are in the PM class, you actually have it straight out in the morning, which kind of... Well, not in the morning because you're starting in the PM. You're starting 1 or 2 in the afternoon, so you have it right off the bat. I think a little earlier than usual, but they will pick you up earlier than usual because let's say your pickup time for PMs is 1 or 2. You'll be picked up a little bit earlier. I believe that's how it goes. And so you get in, you do your ditching, and then they bring you to class, which kind of sucks, and I'll tell you why. But I'll tell you why later because then we're going to cover that. But I love the way that they did it. So I always recommend getting the AM class. I'm not a morning person, but looking back, I'm really happy I had the AM class just because our schedule is so much easier. I mean, you have more time to study at night. You're not as tired. You can go to bed early. Yes, we did wake up early, like crazy hours, like 1 or 2 in the morning we were up for the 3 o'clock shuttle, or sometimes we were up like super early for the like 2:30, 3 o'clock shuttle, or 4 o'clock at the most. Sometimes we had 5 a.m., but those were really rare. So you wake up super early, you're in class all morning, and then they tell you, okay, change, we're gonna provide a lunch for you. So, basically, okay, so I have it all written down here step by step so that I don't forget, and I don't want to kind of go too ahead of myself so that I forget something and then I go back and you guys are all confused. So it says half a day, so we talked about that. If you're AM class. All right, so bus takes you to class, then ditching, okay? And I believe we had ditching on the last week. That's when we got our uniforms on the 3rd week. On the 4th week that we did ditching. And then we had a little more time, if you wanted to do your nails because it finished earlier, if you wanted to get everything done before your OE, and then after that you're done with the whole week and your graduation. All right, so the bus takes you to a class. Okay, and then you go and do your class, and then the bus waits for you for ditching. Now you're gonna get hungry, so they tell you we will provide lunch, okay? So they do provide lunch downstairs, but you must eat it super fast. Remember, you guys are always in a hurry, on a timeline. This is not like, hey, let's relax and have lunch and have a good time. We were all standing up, because it was kind of like, they opened just for us on a little side of the cafeteria, and it was just an opening for us to grab our lunch. I did not know that you could bring it on the bus. I wasn't aware of that. So everybody was eating it real quick, thinking we couldn't bring it. And I saw some people bringing it, and I wish I had brought it, because I ate that sandwich 100 miles an hour. I didn't want to, lose the bus, forget about the bus, or just eat and, kind of miss the bus. That's the last thing you want, because you don't know where you're going. So a lot of people kind of ate quickly. We had chips. We had some seasoning you could put in your sandwich. We ate it. I remember leaving half of it there because I didn't want to be too full and kind of throwing it away. I know it sounds bad. I was going to keep it, but I didn't want to bring it on the bus. Anyways, long story short, we get on the bus. So they give you about 20 minutes to eat, 10 to 15 minutes, but it took about 20 for everybody to get in the bus. You could change at the university. Okay, so you can change into your clothes, or as long as you have it under your clothes, then it's fine, but you have to be ready. And I say that because the facility, well, I'm gonna get to the facility now. Okay, so so we ate lunch at the training center. The large Greyhound bus took us there, which is the same bus that, works with Southwest. So they were very, very picky about using their facility. So the facility that they took you to do the ditching is like a private clubhouse where people swim, they pay, they take swimming lessons. It was very far, well, very far. It was like a 20 to 25 minute ride. So it was kind of far from me because I thought it was closer. When I was in the bus, when we got out, we were instructed to basically go in and get out, to not use their air dryer, to not use the facility, to not put like locks on your locker and then make it your own. This was basically in and out type thing. So when we arrived, first thing we did, I tried to change already. And again, you're not allowed to have a bathing suit, you guys. You can't have a one-piece bathing suit. You can't have a bikini. This is not a fashion show. For them, they wanted you to be in shorts, like biker shorts, almost touching your knees or a little bit above your knees, and a t-shirt. Mainly darker clothes, because obviously the lighter you can see through. So they wanted you to be in dark clothing. So most of us were in black. I've seen one person with a one piece, like a leotard, a little bit like what I'm wearing now, but it was recommended to have a top and bottom, which is, I always try to abide by the rules. You don't want to be standing out. And then you get sent home for no reason. So we were instructed to walk through the pool and to go outside while the PM group was already ditching. Remember, they do ditching first, then they go to class. They were at the end of ditching, so we kind of got to see a little bit, but then outside with the sun, we couldn't really see inside what they were doing. But as we're walking, we're like peeking through to see, what are they doing? What are they doing, right? So we're standing outside. We're waiting for us to be called. Now they named 3 or 4 people that are comfortable in the water to help out with all of us that are gonna be going to the rafts. So it was more like, who's comfortable in water, who can help and have the strength to help everybody into the raft. So we had 2 or 3 volunteer. I'm very comfortable in water. I wanted to volunteer, but I did not want to dislocate my shoulder or get injured during helping, because you never know what could happen. And then I would be basically banned, not banned, but I'd have to go home if I'm injured, and I didn't want to take that chance. So I let other people do that, but they had chosen those people the day before or 2 days prior to that. So we already knew who was gonna help, all right? So unless they changed their mind, they were gonna pick some new people, but we already knew who the volunteers were. Then we all got our vest, which was kind of weird because they're not your normal vest that you put on your body. Like, let's say you're going jet skiing at a lake or something and then you clip it on. That's not what it was. It's more of a vest that you put around your neck and it blows up right around your neck. So it doesn't feel comfortable, you guys. It's very claustrophobic-ish if you're not used to having anything around your neck that's tight. So there isn't really much around your waist tightening you up. It's mainly around your neck, okay? And it's made that way so that it keeps you afloat if there's any emergency or anything. when you are faced with a situation that you need ditching, right? All right. Now the instructors have a different vest of different color, but I think the principle is the same at the end of the day. It's just your big vest that's around your neck. So we all have this and it's not inflated. And then we were lining up and everybody was getting inflated one at a time. So it's really funny because it's like a loud noise. And then we were doing this outside and it was super hot. I remember the sun was hitting on us. We were dying of heat. We had woken up early that morning. Everybody's tired because we're like exhausted and emotionally, physically exhausted. And we know what's waiting for us. And that's nerve-wracking because they do also watch you. So they want to make sure that you are doing what you need to do. All right, so we walk in. Now the group had left. So they called us in probably 30 minutes or 40 minutes in. The minute we walked in, we had to form lines. So the pool is here and we had about, I want to say 5 lines. Okay, 5 rows. And there was probably about 10 of us in each row. We were about 50 in the group, give and take, all right? So we had an instructor jump in the water and tell us exactly what we needed to do. What the drill consisted of, I'm not sure if I can get into the details, but basically they wanted to make sure that you can swim to the raft that was sitting in the pool, okay? So basically we're instructed to hold the vest down because as you're jumping, the vest will pop in your mouth, right? Or your jaw. So we were instructed to hold it down and hold your nose if you're gonna jump. I didn't need that because I'm used to jumping in water, so it's fine. We have a pool here. So I held down because I didn't want it to hit me, obviously, or just kind of pop up and jumped. Now, out of our class, we had probably a good percent, what is it, like a good 5% of people that did not know how to swim, and they were very, very, very uncomfortable. And I'm talking like, oh my gosh, you know, and the fact that it's just around your neck, it's very like, even for me, it's uncomfortable. I don't mind the vest on the body, but the whole neck thing is not the most comfortable per se. But they want to make sure that you're comfortable, and you obviously cannot swim forward. It's really hard with it. So they're kind of were asking you to swim backwards. So if you're uncomfortable and you don't know where you're going, you have to kind of look back and kind of make your way to the raft where they would help you in and we would do the drill. There's an instructor in the raft and he or she would kind of assign us different tasks on what to do, which we had practiced. We had talked about it a few days prior. So we knew what to expect a little bit. So basically, you know, mode of survival, what to do if you need to eat, how to survive if it's raining, canopy. I mean, from everything from any kind of harsh weather you can encounter to surviving, drinking, and eating, all right? And flares and what to look for. So there's a lot to know, but the drill itself is very fast. It's almost like you either know it or you don't, okay? They're not testing you, but they are making sure that you're participating and you're there and you're physically willing to incorporate yourself in that drill, okay? Once you are done, you are instructed, remember you cannot walk on these rafts. They're very fragile, so you can't just stand up. So everything has to be crawling, okay? So when they ask you to remove yourself from the raft, we took turns, all right? There was someone helping us on the other end of the raft to get us out. So there's one helping us in, one helping us out. And that person that was helping us out, basically, you're basically rolling your whole body into the water. I remember rolling the wrong way and I kind of hit the water and the water went into my ears and I was deaf for like 24 hours. It's not that high. I mean, it's not that it's really high, although there is a good height from the water, but it's just the way I fell. Just the water went straight in and I was literally deaf for real. There was water in there. I couldn't get it out. But it went away, thankfully. So just be careful, you guys, when you do those drills. Just try to fall right. It's hard to fall right when you're rolling out of a balloon, you know, like a round raft. It's a little hard because the raft itself is thin, but then around it is kind of thick. So you got to go over that to get it. So it's pretty interesting because during, you know, the drill, everybody's barely barefoot. Obviously, we're drenched. We're starting to get cold because we're above water now. We're in the raft and we're all on top of each other. And imagine 50 people in one raft and everybody smells different odors. We're all stuck on each other and we're sliding. There's water in the raft and it's uncomfortable. And we're thinking, imagine in a real situation how it would be. And remember, people have their clothes at this point, especially if we need to evacuate Nobody has time to change into what we were wearing. Obviously, there could be coats involved. It could be in the middle of winter. I mean, I was thinking about that. Like, there was so much more to this drill than what really meets the eye in real life. And so it gives you a good idea of what you're going to be facing with. You're going to be faced with, I mean, until, you know, rescue comes and picks you up, you have to feel what it feels to have all these people, you know, per rafts, because there's so many rafts per plane. And then you kind of divide 40 to 50 people per raft, depending on how many rafts you have and if they're all functioning. So there's so many issues that you need to take into consideration during a situation like that. But anyhow, and then we were instructed to get out. Once we got out, we got inside the changing room. We were asked to change and literally leave. Like, don't blow dry your hair, don't brush your hair. You don't have time to like just change, basically. So thankfully I had my towel, which I used to change real quick. I didn't want to go into a locker or anything. I mean, in a shower or in a stall, because that was going to take too much time. They wanted you in the bus right away. All right. Again, this is a private area, and I think some people used in the past their air dryer and whatnot, which broke as a result. So they were kind of getting aggravated with the people training. So they were very like, hey, we're going to give you this time slot for you to practice, but you need to be in and out real quick. So, and because they've been training so many people, there's a lot of traffic in their facility. So they weren't too like, apparently, not that they weren't welcoming, because they were nice to us when we walked in, and I had a big smile and I was so excited to be there. But I think it just kind of aggravated them to just have a lot of people that just don't treat their facility right? And I understand that. So I changed real quick. Everybody did as well. Like, you know, we put something on, our hair was a mess, and I have a video on training, and you'll see my hair all messy, my makeup all messy. I don't think I even have makeup, but just because we needed to get out and get in. All right, so we got into the shuttle bus, we waited for everybody to get on, the driver was there waiting. Literally took about 10 minutes for everybody to get out and get in, and we were ready to go. And so the good thing is, when we got back, we could take a shower, we could wash our clothes that was super wet, and we can hang them, which is what I did. I hand washed everything, or you can throw them in the washing machine and dryer. But for a lot of them that are going to class afterward, I don't know how they did it, since they couldn't blow dry their hair. I'm not sure if they were given lunchtime to do that, or maybe bring a blow dryer and do it before class in the bathroom. I don't know how they did it, but I feel really bad. So if you guys are AM, you're gonna kind of thank me for choosing AM, because I did not even know this until now, and nobody talks about it online or anywhere. So I'm glad that I was able to share that with you. But if you're a PM, I am so sorry, you guys, because you're gonna have to do the drill in, you know, first thing, and then you're gonna kind of drag on that chlorine smell, because you obviously can't shower at the university, so you're gonna smell like chlorine all day. Kind of sucks. So bring a lot of deodorant, yeah, and bring a lot of change of clothes, and do something with your hair, maybe a bun or something. And I know it sucks, because I know when my hair is wet, I'm so cold all day, and I can't imagine starting class at 2 o'clock until like 12 midnight. Like, I don't know how I would do it, but anyways, so I hope this was informative, you guys. I wanted to keep it kind of within the 15-20 minute range, just to kind of give you an overview of how it goes, what's expected. The drill itself, I wanted to get into the details, but now that I think about it, it's just not something that I'm allowed to. You know, there's a lot of privacy when it comes to airline, and there's things that you need to respect. So, but you'll go through the drills, you'll be prepared, we'll talk about it, and then there's an instructor there to teach you everything while you are in the raft. And it doesn't last too long. You're looking at 15-20 minutes max, and you're just participating activities. So pretty fairly easy. Again, if you don't know how to swim, you have a floater, and you need to show them that you want to. And if you're not getting anywhere, they'll have you figure it out until you get to the raft. If you can't, we're there standing because we're next in line to jump. We'll encourage you. We'll pep you up. We'll push you to do what you need to do, but you need to swim on your own. Again, if this really happens, a real scenario, you can't get stuck. And there's gonna be, probably the weather that may work against you. It could be like windy and lots of waves over your head. And so you need to figure out a way to overcome your fear, you guys, and be able to, find your way to the raft. That's kind of important, I think, because if I'm with someone that panics, I'm gonna be the only one there, kind of like, leading everybody or getting the raft closer to the plane. But if the plane is going down, you don't want the raft connected to the plane. And so you need to find someone that's confident to just bring all these people to the raft. And so if I can't have my partner and she's not comfortable in water, that would make me panic that I'm the only one taking care of 200 passengers on my own. So I'd love to have someone that's comfortable. Even if they can't swim, they know they have a floater. So just kind of get over your fear and push through, because this is something that's important. All right. So that's what I was thinking about too. When I saw people struggling and couldn't even get, their hands to move, and they were just panicking. I remember thinking, you need to take a deep breath, overcome your fear, and get to that raft. Remember, it's all about survival, okay? So hopefully when adrenaline kicks in, you just won't get into your head and panic, because it's really important that I know that I can depend on you and you can depend on me as well. So with that said, this is it. This is my video on ditching. I hope this was informative. I had a great time explaining to you guys everything there is to know. If you have any questions, comment down below and give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe, because I have an amazing video regarding either training or even coaching. If you guys need some coaching, you can always go to flyingwithshelly, SHELLY.com, and just ask me a question, book a coaching session. I will help you with your next interview. All right, so nice to see you. Love you guys. Take care. Bye, and a happy 4th of July.